All right, we're back on the show. We're the Malapert Smarks. Well, I'm a Malapert Smark. I think Vlad is a Malapert Smark, right? I mean, I don't know about Robert though. Robert is very respectful to these wrestling companies. Thinks they're trying to
So,
give us
I,
entertainment.
I mean, if you so any type of criticism means that you're a malapart, right? So you
Well,
can't even criticize these shows.
it's pretty disrespectful because we have nothing to do with wrestling, Like like people will say basketball, like you've never played basketball, so what can you like Charles, right? Charles Barkley, he would say you never played, so you don't have the right to really
Right.
talk. I guess we've never been in the
Yeah.
wrestling business, but we know what we like and we know what makes us fall asleep, and that's
Right.
that's inarguable. Anyways, Vlad's here, Robert's here, I'm here. I've been run ragged, man. I've been tired. I'm tired, but I'm here to do the show. This usually marks the end of my work week, and I'm happy to be here. Uh, my dog was like barking at 4 in the morning for no reason, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I had to wake up. I went out to take her for a poop to see if that was it, but nothing. So I don't know what the hell's her problem. But
Sometimes they
anyways,
just bark because they hear stuff, dude. They hear
there
sounds,
was
and
nothing going on. There was nothing going on.
they got
And
you think so, but they have really good hearing, so you don't know.
anyways, we're
You know.
here to talk about the week in wrestling. Let's not be like these other podcasts that talk about bullshit for an hour, waiting for you to get to the wrestling talk. Let's get to the wrestling talk. We're here to talk about pro wrestling. We love wrestling. So the last thing we talked about last week was Dynamite. So since then, I guess there's been SmackDown on June 12th. If we want to talk about WWE for a second, I'll just gloss over it because it's too much. But we're not gonna go in detail into WWE like we do AEW. But we got SmackDown. We had the Bloodline angle with Solo and the Usos, right? I don't know if you guys. I watched this with Robert at my place actually.
This past Friday. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this was Jay Uso got a U.S. title shot, and what is the story here, Vlad? Can you tell this to me? Paul Heyman is trying to get Jay Uso back into the bloodline to choose him, so he got him a U.S.
Basically, yeah.
title match. And then Jimmy Uso was trying to interfere. Solo came in. It was a big mess. Jimmy kicked
Right.
Jay by accident here, and now they've got issues. So Jay and maybe Jay and Jimmy, but all these accidents. It was an accidental kick. So Austin Theory retained the title. There's all kinds of drama in the bloodline. We don't know which side Jay's gonna pick. He's gonna stick with his brother. He's gonna go to to the bloodline. It's good stuff though, right? If you guys got any comments about that, or else I'll move on to Raw. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's great stuff. It's probably the only good thing on SmackDown, I would say. Uh, but it's been that way for a while. I mean, on Raw, you have whatever Cody's doing, and then on SmackDown, it's this. So, but yeah, this is as good as WWE can do it at the moment. And when Reigns is there, it's going to be even better. But he's not there every week, but when he's there, it adds to the entertainment. But yeah, this is good. This is good. I have no real complaints about
Yeah, me
this.
and Robert were enthralled with this, right, Robert?
Well, I think we fast forwarded to like basically the main event and any of the bloodline segments
Well,
pretty
just like
sure.
this
I don't
show.
know.
I mean, we didn't
Okay.
talk about the rest of SmackDown. I mean, there are some stuff there on SmackDown, but
But
we just
okay,
got.
the parts that we did see, I did like. It was mostly like the bloodline stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just too much. I'm trying to keep this show like about an hour. It's too much to get to. I'm not gonna go into the rest of SmackDown. But let's move on with the week. So we got to Raw. Raw was on June 12th, and actually the SmackDown I got the date wrong. That was on June 9th. But Raw on June 12th was what do we got? Cody here. Oh, Cody's in a feud with Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. And Vlad texted me asking me if he thinks this is a good feud or if I have any issues with this. And I don't because it's really, Rhea is involved in this and have Cody and Rhea in the same storyline together is pretty good to me. So I have no issue with it. I think this is going to be good. I mean, we're all waiting for Brock and Cody 3, so this is just like a holdover. So Cody's got to take care of that, and he's got an issue with Dominic being disrespectful to him. So I like this. I think this is good. No issue with this storyline. You guys, Robert, do you know about this? Have you been watching this?
No, that's news for me.
There you
Um,
go. Yeah, it's Cody's not gonna be in the Money in the Bank. this
Okay.
pay-per-view. Although he wants the title, he's being distracted with Dominik Mysterio now, because Dominik Mysterio came in last week, disrespected him, slapped him in the face even as he was running away. So Cody challenged him to a match at Money in the Bank, which I think is good. These are two good workers, second generation, both of them.
Okay. So I think that this shows that like I said, I'm just finding out about this right now. I think this shows like WWE has a lot of faith in Dominik to match him up with Cody already. Like he's still like very new in his career, so good for him. I think Cody should go over, obviously, but good for Dominik.
You guys,
Yeah.
Vlad, can you see what
sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
sharing or no? Are you guys?
Yeah,
see the screen?
I see the
Okay.
screen. Yeah, I see it.
All right,
Yeah.
just making sure it's working. Go on, Vlad. You
Yeah.
got any thoughts about Cody
Yeah, I
and
was just
Dominik?
gonna say. Well, the reason I like it, I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes and his work, but I think what really makes this work is Dominik. Honestly, he is becoming, if he's not already there, the best heel in the company. He is really, really good. Like the slimy heel, he's really doing a great job. So I give him full credit. I think there's a reason that Cody wants to work with him. It's because he sees how much heat this guy is actually getting. I mean, the crowd's not letting him speak. They're booing him all the time. He's getting major heat just for opening his mouth before he even can get anything out. So, I think I'm happy with the feud, but obviously he has some unfinished business with Lesnar, and who knows if he'll ever get a title match ever again. But in the meantime, while we're figuring all that out, this is not a bad way to, spend your time if you're Cody, I would say.
Yeah, all good work here all around. All right, so let's move along. Other news on Raw, since we're filling Robert in, he didn't really watch any of it. What do we got? There was good stuff with Gunther. He's been feuding with Sami and KO. He was actually in a title match. That was the main event of this Raw, was KO and Sami against Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig, yes.
Yeah, the Imperium.
Yeah.
And in the end, it ended up being that Riddle came in to, I guess he's been feuding with Gunther, so that kind of threw them off, and that's how they ended up keeping the title. But, I thought that was interesting. Good stuff. KO and Gunther had a good match the week before.
Yeah, the week before.
Oh, yeah. I watched that one, and I loved that match.
Yeah, so that
was phenomenal.
All right, just a brief mention, but let's move along. Finn and Seth. I gotta say, I really don't like this Seth Rollins song that everyone's into. In case you didn't know, Robert, the fans did not stop chanting it for this entire confrontation. The whole time Finn was trying to talk, he was trying to talk over them, going, whoa, whoa. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Okay, I get it, but Jesus Christ, I'm not a fan of this song. Vlad, were you as annoyed as I was, or what?
Well, if I actually liked the Seth Rollins character that he's trying to portray, maybe I would be good with it. But this character, the crazy laughter, the nonsensical stuff that he says, the way he comes out and dresses sometimes, I don't understand the character. I've tried to. I mean, obviously, I'm fond of his ability to wrestle. I think he's known in wrestling as one of the great workers currently going, but this character you can't shake it because it's so bad. I mean, look at this laugh that he's doing right there on the screen. It's insane. What is that? Look at
I don't mind his laugh. I really don't mind the laugh. I just don't like the song. I don't think it's that good a song.
But it's not natural. It's not natural. He's never was like this before. It's not. Nobody acts this way all of a sudden, unless they can explain that he got clocked in the head, and this is like a result of like some sort of, I don't even know what. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, obviously, and I'm not really fond of this. I don't even know. I listened to the promo a bit, but I didn't care for it. I'm not really Finn Balor kind of bores me as he's a good worker too, but he's kind of, now there's someone that you can say is kind of dry on the character, and I would have to agree.
I like Finn Balor. I like his accent. He's obviously a good worker.
I said that.
I was gonna tell you that, in my opinion, I think Seth should drop the belt here to Finn. Like,
no,
since
he just won it.
So what? I mean, look, if the Universal title is gonna be like the title that's going to be held by Roman forever. They should have a title that gets bounced around. I want to see some title change. It's exciting, have
Well, maybe
Judgment Day.
eventually, but not right away.
What do you think,
I'll have
Robert?
to agree with Vlad. I don't think he should drop it just yet.
Well, the storyline here, in case you guys didn't know, because I listened to this whole damn promo, is that Finn Balor got hurt after he won the Universal title right on the night he won it from Seth Rollins, and he thinks that derailed his career, and since then, for the past 7 years, he's never gotten back to that peak, and he blames Seth Rollins in a way, and he said he's been waiting years to tell him this, so...
That was ridiculous. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, there wasn't much here. That's for sure.
Okay.
I can't believe that was 7 years ago.
7 years ago, yeah.
Man, I still remember.
I wasn't watching then, but yeah.
He was the first Universal Champion.
Man,
oh wow.
I was actually not watching at that point. I'm getting filled in on stuff like this. These were the years I wasn't watching. All right, anyway, so the next night was June the 13th on NXT, and if you didn't know, last week Bron Breakker called out Seth Rollins and asked him for a title shot since Seth Rollins is, giving everyone a title. So he showed up on NXT via satellite or whatever, and he accepted the match. So next week it's going to be Bron Breakker against Seth Rollins, which is kind of stupid to me because they're already advertising Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor at Money in the Bank. So obviously this is not going to be a title change either. Although I would love for Bron Breakker to get introduced into the show by becoming World Heavyweight Champion right off the bat. It would be so cool, but it's not going to happen. So I already know how this is going to end, by the way. Because Bron Breakker's been a bad guy, been just attacking people for no reason. So he attacked Ilya Dragunov after his match against Baron Corbin. So I'm assuming Dragunov is going to come back and fuck this up for him. So this is not going to be a title change, but I don't know. I just thought I'd mention it to you guys in case next week you want to watch this match on NXT on a Tuesday. Seth Rollins is supposed to show up at the Performance Center to do this match.
Are they gonna sing his music there too? Oh my god.
Yeah, they were doing it the whole time here on NXT. I don't know. People are marks for this song.
That's the crowd. That's the crowd doing that, huh?
Yeah, you can see it, huh? Anyways, moving along. Oh, since I'm a wrestling analyst, I think this storyline that they're introducing on NXT is two new characters who were friends since they were kids, and they're still friends as adults. They're still hanging out. Lucien Prince and Bronco Nima. They look really good. They're just kind of teasing them. I think these guys could come to the main roster. They look built, and they've got cool silly gimmick that they've been friends since they were little kids. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'll just mention that since I watched NXT. But anyways, let's move on to the big time. AEW Dynamite is what we're starting here, our review. And it started off hot, right? Adam Cole versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. So, hey, by the way, I'll just mention, I listened to the Jim Cornette podcast. And what Jim Cornette said that these two guys ripped each other too hard in their little bagging contest last week, that they dressed each other down way too much, that it kind of made Adam Cole look like weak, basically, just calling out all his weak points and, calling him skinny and frail, like what the heck, what do you guys think? Robert, do you think that there's any truth to that? Can you shoot too hard sometimes?
No, I thought that was the only segment from the week before that I watched, and I thought it was cool. I thought when CM Punk and MJF did their promo battle, they went even harder, in my opinion.
That's true.
I feel like when MJF goes up against someone that he knows can actually hang with him, he really goes hard. I don't think he went as hard against Adam Cole personally, but it was still good. I know to me that wasn't too hard. It was just right.
How about Vlad? No? Yes?
Yeah,
no?
I'm debating. I think there's a point to be made where, if you make your opposition kind of seem weak, but I was entertained by it, and I didn't think that as I was watching it, so I guess I'll have to disagree with them, in this case. I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. But there was a point to be made, like, hey, if you make him look too weak, are you building the match, or what are you guys going to be building to? But exactly. I still enjoyed it for what it was.
Exactly. It was funky that I didn't get that thought at all but it's
No,
a good
I
point.
I didn't think so as I was watching. So I have to
But
disagree
it's a
with him
good
on that
point
point.
though. You don't want to call your opponent like a skinny shrimp that can't even freaking beat a crack whore on the sidewalk or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, he didn't say that exactly. He
Yeah,
compared him
but
to a crack whore.
basically, in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, moving along, moving along. So let's go through this match. This was a fucking cool match. This was a good match. Let's see. I got bookmarks today, so I got the stare down, which I thought was pretty funny. They're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I like that. Okay, so a lot of heel tactics from MJF, a lot of showboating, right? he did the Rick Rude right here, I think.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
let's
yeah. First the flare.
let's
He did
check this
flare
out.
and then he did rude. Yeah. That's his new thing that he's been doing lately.
What else? There was a crowd
And then he
altercation.
did some Shawn Michaels stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I might have missed that, but he had a thing
Oh,
with
yeah,
a fan. I don't know if it was a plant,
Yeah.
but nowadays it's an honor to get disrespected by
I agree.
MJF. Let's see. We got some mud hole stumping, which I thought the crowd should have been more into that if they don't like MJF. But okay. The stuck in the apron spot. I don't like this. This is a little tiny bit of criticism for this good match, but I don't like when someone just waits there and waits for their hand to get, stomped on. He can just move, like right here, like move out of the way, I guess. But what else? Let's move along. MJF is in control early on. Adam Cole super kick. Oh, he hit him. He actually fucked him up right here, right? Did you guys catch
Yeah,
this?
he was bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah, he's gonna start spitting out blood right here. You guys want to see the super kick again? Let's see.
Oh,
I have a point to make about this later, but he wasn't bleeding from the mouth.
You don't think
okay.
so?
No, he put something in his mouth prior. I've written a paragraph about this whole match. It was, as I
Okay.
told you yesterday.
Okay,
I have so
okay.
many thoughts.
All right. Let's see. Adam Cole takes control in the middle of the match. Let me see what happens here. There's a boom attempt. Here's a nice move. You guys want to see some nice wrestling between MJF and what is this? A double underhook shoulder breaker. I mean, Adam Cole's the type of guy, the type of size that but he didn't really sell it, and then he goes into his own move. Okay, so there's a little criticism for me. He took a big shot, but he ended up returning the move immediately afterwards and pinning him. So, okay, I'm taking some points off there. Let me see. A tombstone on the apron here. MJF did good with this. Looked pretty safe. He didn't fuck him up or anything, so that was good. The elbow drop. This was fantastic. Look at MJF right here. His face. I don't know. Not the best elbow drop in history, but, okay.
Yeah. He's no macho man, but
Yeah, he's no macho man, but okay. And then Adam Cole barely beats the count.
Do you have MJF's face when he does it? Because this is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
okay.
there.
This was fantastic. Okay, perfect.
Where's this? A straightjacket German suplex on the apron. I mean, good selling, good work all around. Excellent wrestling. Okay, so the ref bump. This is where we're gonna start analyzing. So he's arguing with him about the 10 count. I think he's like 10. It was a 10 count. He thought should have been a count out. And then Adam Cole recovers into the roll up, and then the referee is not gonna be in the right spot here. He should have been further back. You see, then he moves back for the ref bump. You guys see that or what?
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't catch that live, but okay, now that you're watching it back.
Hold on, let me play it back again. Let me see. I don't have it. Okay, I should have had a better bookmark here, so it'll take a second. But look, so who is this? Bryce Remsburg, Vlad, or what?
This is Rumsberg.
Okay, so he's not in position there. Then he moves back where he was supposed to be, and then he takes the bump. So that was bad too. I'll take some points off there. Poor ref bump, man. Poor ref bump. He should have been in position. So he goes to get the belt. He's about to hit Adam Cole with it, and then he sees the referee's gonna get up, and he tries to pull an Eddie Guerrero, yeah. And then the referee just happens to fall down, and then Adam Cole has the chance here to hit him with the belt for free, which is this was pretty nice. This was good wrestling. And then he cheats. He hits him with the belt. This is pure cheating, bro. Pure cheating. But okay, I guess MJF brought it in. Hits him with the boom, And then the ref's slow to get up, and he's gonna kick out, so the match is gonna continue. Epic match. So far, this is pretty epic, I would say. All right, so we got MJF after this. While he's trying to recover, he's got really nothing going for him, so he's just gonna pull a low blow, while he tries to distract the ref. And then MJF after that is gonna go for his secret weapon, obviously the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And then for some reason here they decide to put the ref over, and the ref is gonna take it away from him, which I don't know. They make these refs look like goofs all the time, but for some reason in this instant they wanted to show that they had a strong referee. So they put the referee over here, takes the ring, and Adam Cole hits the Panama Sunrise and the boom, and it's pretty much. It looks like it's over. It looks like he's done enough to win at this point. The crowd is like pretty much ready to count, and I don't know what you guys were thinking at this moment, but I was like, what the hell is going on? Because the bell rang right before the 3, and I thought that he bought the timekeeper, right? Isn't that what everyone was thinking? And they did not even mention anything about 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left.
That's in my notes, trust me.
So the time limit draw. It's a time limit draw. Nobody wins, and Adam Cole asks for 5 more minutes. Because he grabs the mic and he tells him 5 more minutes. And I'm thinking, why would MJF give him 5 more minutes? Is he insane? So he doesn't, and he walks away. Very nice little. He kind of gets into his face here and looks at him, and the crowd obviously wants it, but it's not going to happen. This was a good moment right here, where I don't know, for a second it looked like maybe let's do it, but obviously not. So let's go ahead. We went through this match in pretty good detail. Let's start with Robert. Is this a 5-star match to you? Did you give it 5 stars in your head? No. Okay.
I don't give a lot of 5-star matches, man.
Oh, no? Okay.
Saying I give
Right.
5-star matches all the time.
Who do you think he is? Dave Meltzer or what?
No, this is not a 5-star match, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. When Adam Cole came on, I was thinking, the first thing that was in my head, I'm like, wow, they're starting off the show with this. I was surprised. Like I didn't. I thought this was more something like they would put at the end, but they decided to start off the open with this match. So I didn't know about the time limit. I don't know if it was because okay. First of all, I didn't watch last week or the week before. I didn't. Maybe they mentioned it at some point early in the match, and I just didn't pay attention. But when the time ran out, I was like, wait, there was an actual time limit? I had no idea. So I was caught off guard by that. I didn't, for the first few seconds, I was when that happened, I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I thought it was a great match. One hell of a way to start off the show.
Loads of fun. Loads of fun. All right, Vlad, let's hear your analysis. You said you got a lot of thoughts about this. Let's have it.
Okay. God, there is a lot to say. So let me just go through my notes here, okay? Okay, so I will say that it was still a match. It's not a 5-star match because there was a lot of stuff that was a little wacky in this whole thing. Some of it is a little nitpicky, I'll say, but if we're talking about perfection or we're talking about 5-star match, you can't have a 5-star match with some of these things. Some of it is just downright insane. Like, what the heck was going on here? But anyways, great match overall, like I said. But let me just put some criticisms, because I think I'm still so
we're the
happy
Malapert
that
Smark.
I'm still happy overall. I'm still happy overall that the show started this way, not with Orange Cassidy, and that this lasted 40 minutes. That this lasted 40 minutes, which is they gave them a lot of time to work here because they see that there's something here, there's an angle here, so it's good. But some of the criticisms that I'll say. I mean, Adam Cole, I like him, but the super kicks where he slaps his foot and knee all the time, it's really distracting, dude. I mean, and you see it too. He's not even trying to hide it. Okay, so that's bad. Okay, this is a slight criticism to MJF. The thumb to the eye in front of the ref. I mean, why is that in front of the ref? I mean, that can't happen in front of the ref. The way Flair used to do it is like when the ref wasn't looking or something, not like right in front of him. He just gouges his eye. That's insane. Okay. The table spot was nice, but I've never understood that spot, how that's legal if it's not a no DQ match. I don't understand how you could just drive your opponent through a table and not be a DQ. Okay, whatever. That's just like criticism. That's just my own thing. I know that happens all the time, but I've never understood that.
Yeah, good
MJF,
point.
I just don't get it. Okay, MJF's is great here. His facials throughout the whole match was fantastic. He was just
Oh yeah.
tremendous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he sold this match like nobody's business. I mean, he's the whole feud he's carrying completely. You know, it's even though Cole did good work here in the match. MJF like just with his face is carrying this whole thing. The one thing that I'll say, sorry, I'm looking through my notes here. If you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
bleed, can you cover it up a little better? Maybe you guys didn't see it, so maybe I feel low now. But I'm sure when Cornette reviews this, he will tell you what he saw.
Yeah, I missed it. I thought he got kicked in the face. That was
No,
good.
man,
It looked good.
you got to go review it back. He put something in his mouth, and then after the kick, and he's kind of like slightly bleeding, which really didn't do much. Why even have that spot for a bleeding spot there? It wasn't necessary, but whatever. Then you kind of see him throw something out of his mouth underneath the apron, which was weird. I guess it was like some. So it was like something. Yeah, so it was like something that like probably burst, like some sort of that made it seem like he was bleeding from his mouth. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what they use, but whatever. Let's see what else. Okay, right. Okay, what's up? Okay, I did have a thing with the apron spots, how many times they worked. I think that those are a little bit dangerous, but I'm gonna leave that one alone because there were so many other things here. So then the ref bump, right? So then Rumsberg gets up. This is the part that killed me. He got up already on his feet, so it looked like they were gonna catch him with the belt, but then he falls back down again. What? Why does he fall back down again? That made no sense. He was already on his feet. He crumpled all the way down again. That made no sense.
You know what? I agree with you because he didn't even get hit that hard. But maybe he was supposed to get hit harder.
Okay.
He's selling something that was supposed to have happened, I guess.
Okay, I'm just trying to think what else. Okay, but it just wasn't really believable. But I don't want to take away from the match because both guys were really great. But there's still so many little things that could have added to it that made it better if they just stopped with some of the silliness. Okay, and then at the very end, they didn't even announce that there was any time, the time limit at all. That to have it like, the bell ring when they're about to count to 3 makes no sense. Okay, that's just the dumbest thing of all time. Okay? That's literally one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Okay, that's one of the worst ways to end a match. I mean, I understand like if they said like, okay, you have 30 seconds left or a minute left, and then he couldn't get the pin in that time, or like he was about to, but like he couldn't, like whatever. I understand, but not when he's already about to count to 3, like right here where he's about to do it. Well, no, that's the one where he kicks out. But whatever. Okay, I mean, like I said, there was some dumb stuff here throughout the match, but overall, so I can't obviously not a 5-star match because of that, but. Overall,
so what do you give it
really
then?
Good work.
Give it a star rating.
Probably. I'm thinking just the work alone. I think it deserves a 4. But I think I'm gonna take off. I'm only gonna take out half the thing for all the silliness that I just mentioned because I really like the work that these guys did. So I'll say 3.5.
3.5. How about you, Robert? You got a star rating?
I'll agree with that. 3.5.
I don't know, man. I think I'll give it a 4-star just because of the excitement.
I mean, it's fair.
It was exciting.
It was exciting.
There was angles. There was storylines.
Yes.
There was all kinds of drama in this. So
I mean, I also want to say not only is MJF the best character, he's also the best wrestler. His matches are always tremendous. He's just the best wrestler. He's the best. He's the best I've seen in a long time. I mean, to be honest, if he was in WWE, some of the silliness they wouldn't let him do some of the stuff that would be obviously get caught. So he would be even better, I think. But as far as his match, anyways, that's just my little thing.
We'll see what happens in 2024.
Yeah.
Well, excellent way to start the show, though. But I will mention at the end when I do my ratings what I thought of them starting with this on the show. So that's a teaser for later. But I will agree with you, Vlad, that the referee, being so messed up from that slight ref bump was a little weird. But I'm thinking they messed that up. I think he was supposed to take a harsher bump, but he was not in good position. So I think that kind of screwed that up.
I didn't catch that, so you might be right. That's the one thing I didn't even put in my notes is the bump that he was supposed to take.
All right. Well, let's move along. We got the rest of the show to talk about here. Let's see. Let's go to my next bookmark. We got CM Punk, baby. Yeah, so the show's starting off good. We had MJF, Adam Cole, a video package for CM Punk. I didn't really write down anything that he said, but he said some basic crap like I've got unfinished business. I don't think they should really make it so exciting that he's coming back. Don't don't let the people think that this is gonna be a big deal, because he's just gonna get hurt again. So don't build it up, man.
Well,
Stop build.
they're trying to sell the show. So
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm not
don't
against it.
stop building it. Stop building CM Punk up, man. Let it be a surprise if something good happens. You keep building him up for these long ass angles that he keeps getting hurt for. I see a lot of comments on YouTube about this collision match that they're like, "Oh, it should be a great match if CM Punk doesn't get injured in the first 3 minutes." So whatever. I'll get excited about CM Punk when there's something to be excited about. All right. It's nice that he's coming back, but let's move along. I like this next segment a lot. This was Sammy Guevara's coming out for an in-ring interview with what's her name? Renee Paquette. So he's got this mature shirt on. He's got a collared shirt because he's about to be a father. So he's trying to look more mature.
Oh, that's why.
And so he says he's gonna have to make some changes in his life now that he's gonna have a kid. So immediately I'm thinking, yeah, this just probably means he wants to leave JAS because the Jericho Appreciation Society is just filled with nothing but lowlifes, right? Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Ange, and Jake Hager. I can't be hanging out with these people if I'm gonna be having a family now. Although Jake Hager has a kid, right? And a wife. So Darby's music hits. He wants to come out and tell him. What does he tell him? Darby comes out, tells him basically. Oh, you know what? Let me mention the thing that Darby said about the four-way match they had. He said he just lost fair and square. Although some wrestling analysts think that he got fucked and that should have been the next angle. But he's like, nope, I lost and I'm just gonna start from the bottom now. So he's cool with the ending, I guess. Which is technically, I guess, true because it's a four-way match and there were no rules. So the fact that MJF used the belt, I guess it wasn't technically cheating. So okay, so Darby's going back down to the bottom. There's gonna be no match between him and MJF, if anyone thought that was gonna happen. He tells Sammy that people are starting to root for him and that he straight up thinks he should get away from Chris Jericho. And that's when Chris Jericho's music hits and he comes out and he tells Darby to mind his own business, right? Kind of true. Hey, by the way, if anyone has comments, just go ahead and jump in, I'm just going through what happened. If anyone has any thoughts about anything here, just go ahead and say it.
Well, up to this point, I do want to say that I feel like as I was watching this, at least in my opinion, to me this was Darby Allin looked like he was actually comfortable with the microphone. I think this is the most comfortable I've seen him on the mic. Because I don't know, there in the past whenever he talks, I said like some sort of awkwardness. But like he just seemed like like talking naturally, like he was just expressing how it feels. I didn't sense any nerves from him. That was my impression when he started talking.
Yeah, I'll agree. He looks good. Yeah, he's getting better. I'll agree with that. So MJF, no, it's not, sorry, MJF. What am I saying? Jericho. Jericho tells Sammy, he's like, why didn't you call me the whole time you were, in that feud? I could have helped you. And Sammy's like, yeah, well, you didn't call me. I could have helped you against Adam Cole. Same thing. So so Jericho starts to get a little bossy here. Tells him that he thinks Sammy's getting a little ego from being in the title match, and he demands an apology. Right? Pretty heel stuff here. And Sammy's like, I'm not apologizing for shit. Right? That was a good line. Crowd popped there a little bit. And let's see what happens next. Jericho thinks they should team back up, but he said it in a weird way. He said we should team up, and so that you'll remember who your boss is. So he's pretty heel here. He's really pushing Sammy away. So they're leading the storyline here pretty obviously. But let me see. Darby interjects here about an idea for a match. He said although Jericho calls himself the Wizard, he's lost all magic in the ring. So another shoot too hard, in my opinion. It's basically saying you can't wrestle anymore. You're too old. So call back to what we were talking about earlier. But Jericho says he's gonna kick Darby's ass 2-on-1, and he tells Sammy, let's go kick his ass. And Darby's like, he's not alone today. And Sting's music hits, and Sting comes out. So this was supposed to be Sting and Jericho's first face-off is what the commentators were saying. That they've never faced off in the ring in WCW or anywhere else. So it's pretty iconic moment, I guess you could call it that. Jericho and Sting. Strong start to the show here, you know,
I
the
agree.
first match and all this stuff. So Jericho sticks his bat in Sting's face, right? You know, I think it's kind of interesting that these two are feuding because I always thought that they should have never let Jericho use the bat. You know, that's Sting's thing, right? So Jericho, he's gonna leave here, and he tells Sami to come with him, but Sami doesn't go with him. And then he points the bat at Sting again, and Sting kind of hit the bat away, which I thought was a cool moment. Sting looked pretty badass here. So let me see what else. What else happened? I think that was it. Jericho just leaves, and they're pretty much leading on the road to Sami being on his own and being a babyface, a father, someone that the people can root for, huh? I like this. I like this a lot. I'll start with Vlad on this one. What did you think of this segment?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling it as much as you guys did, I guess, or maybe as much as you did, Keon. Sami, I don't think really got allowed. I don't think the crowd was really into it when he was just talking by himself, trying to be like a baby face now, like, you know, I'm a father, and the crowd was kind of like, well, all right, you know. But yeah, obviously things did pick up a bit when, you know, Darby came out, and then, you know, he said, hey, you know, you're going to be following Jericho for the rest of your life, or you're going to finally man up and try to do things on your own. Okay, whatever. And then Jericho comes out, and there was some, I guess I will say, like, you know, he said some things, you know, like saying that, you know, that Sami should fall in line, and that, you know, he needs to be reminded who the boss is. This was okay. I mean, I wasn't in love with it. And then obviously the Sting and Jericho, I don't know. I don't know what I'm guessing it's going to be a Sting Jericho match that's down the line, maybe for that what's that, the Wembley Stadium show everybody keeps talking about. Maybe that's what they're pushing for. Otherwise,
I was thinking mixed
I don't have
tag.
a lot. Yeah, because could they get a good match out of Sting and just Jericho? I mean, that's tough to imagine.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
I can't even imagine how that
You
would
want to see
work.
Sting
you
versus
know?
Jericho, Robert?
At this point of their career, I'm not too excited about it.
Yeah, I was thinking Darby and Sting against, you know, Jericho and one of his flunkies, you know, like.
But where does Sami fit in on this then? What is he just? This is just a way for
Well,
him to go.
maybe this is all a ruse, and he's gonna stick with Jericho. That would be pretty heel. That would be a pretty good heel
that's
surprise.
possible, I guess. Yeah,
Maybe that'll be
I don't know.
the mixed tag match.
I can't say I was in love with this, but it wasn't bad. This is still way better than anything they've been doing. So I can't say, like, I can't be too critical, you know, when this is still way better than the things that they've been giving us the last whatever amount of months. But yeah, okay, you know, it wasn't bad.
Right.
It was not bad.
Moving along, Robert, you know this guy? You're our resident New Japan expert.
I've seen him a few times before he was champ, but I'm not as familiar with him as I am of like Okada and Tanahashi.
Sanada.
Yeah, but I remember seeing him before.
He looks good.
Bad,
He looks you know, like a strong dude, I guess. He looks like a badass. So he put out an open challenge here for Forbidden Door, and he's the guy who beat Okada, I guess, to get the title. So I just read that today. I didn't see that match or anything. So anyways, there's gonna be an 8-man tag after this. Sting and Darby are already in the ring, and they're teaming up with Keith Lee and my guy Orange Cassidy, baby. And they're facing the Mogul Embassy.
Here
We're
we
already in the ring. No, I'm not. I'm gonna skip to the ending of this match. I mean, they had a match, you know, and look at this.
There's literally nothing to say about this match.
Well, there's a spot here where they picked up Keith Lee. You know, I guess that's an accomplishment, even though it took 3 guys to do it. You know, that's kind of still like a funny thing. Let's see, Sting. Oh, there was a part here where Sting kind of got nailed. I don't know if he got nailed like for real, because he looked like he was hurting, unless he's trying to sell like I'm an old man, because it looked like he was kind of struggling here.
That looked bad right there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and plus there's this big enormous giant dude like fucking barreling into him. But the ending I liked. The ending was what happened. There was a coffin drop out to to the top, to the outside, and Sting recovers, lays into Brian Cage, and he's gonna put the Scorpion on him, and he picks him up for a backdrop, and then Orange Punch, and then that leads straight into the Scorpion Death Drop. I like that. So I thought this was good too, to be honest. For an 8-man, Sting's the guy who ended up getting the pinfall. That's nice for the crowd. They finally let his music play out because I think he has a badass theme song which never gets to play out. So I like this too. I don't know. This was feel good stuff to me. I don't know if you guys had any feeling about this match whatsoever. I know it's one of those dumb 8-man matches.
I don't want to. No, I don't. I have nothing. I don't want to talk about this. Can we leave it at that? Unless Robert wants to say something.
Yeah. Did you have any feeling about this match? I thought it was nice.
It's okay. I didn't hate it, but also at the same time, remember, I haven't watched the past 2 episodes of Dynamite, so I didn't know if there was a build up to this at all. Like, what was the angle?
Funny that you mentioned that, dude. Because it's funny that you mentioned that because I have been watching and I completely couldn't figure out why they were feuding.
Okay, all right, well there you go. I was trying to think like what was the setup for this? Okay.
I mean, I think there's something about the Mogul Embassy being dicks to guys like Orange Cassidy and stuff, and they're helping them out. And Keith Lee was involved because he used to be tag partners with Swerve, and they turned on each other. So I don't know. It wasn't really well done. Yeah, the storyline of it was bad, but the match itself I thought was kind of nice for the audience there. But let's move along. What's next? The Gun Club. So they don't want to admit that they're associated with Jay White, even though they helped him beat Ricky Starks last week. They deflected that question and instead said they want to challenge the Hardys to prove that they're the better brother tag team. Very random the way they challenged them. I thought this could actually be something interesting, the Guns versus the Hardys. That could be like a feud. That could be like a pay-per-view feud. Instead, they said, no, we want to challenge you and prove we're better than you, and we'll do it next week. I don't know. Vlad, any thoughts on this? I thought this was not good.
This is not good. No, this is a step back. Why? Hopefully, I mean they have this moment where they look like they're joining, or I guess it looked like they might be joining the Bullet Club Gold team, but now they're like, well, no, we don't want to talk about that. We're just gonna fight the Hardys next week. And I'm like, what? Okay, yeah. Well, whatever.
Exactly. I don't know.
I didn't care for that, but I don't know where it's going, but I didn't care for the way this was presented.
I don't know, Robert. Unless you have a comment about this, I mean, it might be a nice match.
The best way to get some heat is to talk bad about Renee's hair.
Yes, they mentioned about her hair. I forgot about that.
Is that what they said? Does she have bad hair?
They were, yeah, at the very end, they were, I felt the exact wording, but they said something about her hair. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, move on.
Moving on.
Not much here, exactly.
Wardlow, the TNT champion, versus Jake Hager, who jump-started it. And these guys had that awful MMA match, remember? On Dynamite.
Oh my God, yes. I try to forget that, but
you remember that, Robert? They had like a shoot MMA match that was a worked shoot, and it was like awful. They were throwing each other into like the UFC cage and stuff.
I don't remember, and maybe I shouldn't remember.
No,
you shouldn't. It was not memorable whatsoever. It was awful.
It was an interesting idea. I thought they could have done better with that because they could have just. I mean, I don't have any footage of it here, but they could have just held each other on the floor like UFC guys do. Instead, they were doing like wrestling moves in the octagon. But let's move on to the end of this match. Arn Anderson thwarts the JAS guys with his fake gun, and Arn Anderson.
Okay, yes.
And Arn Anderson's son Brock helps him, and Wardlow's gonna win with the Powerbomb Symphony. So whatever. We all knew that was gonna happen. I don't think anyone thought Jake Hager was gonna win the title here. But post-match, Christian shows up on the big screen. They're gonna have a rematch for the TNT title on Collision this Saturday. So,
I thought he said that it was going to be the Dinosaur versus, or did I hear that wrong? Is it Dinosaur or is it Christian? I thought I heard the Dinosaur versus Wardlow at Collision for the TV title.
Is that what it is? Jesus Christ!
I don't know. We had trouble hearing them.
That's right. We didn't hear them for the first 25 seconds.
For the first half a minute, we couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
Audio
That's
issues.
true. That's true. But yes, I think that's what he said. And I think later when Excalibur was ranting and raving about all the matches, how he does at the very end, I think he said that was one of the matches, Dinosaur Luchasaurus versus Wardlow at Collision for the TV title.
Okay, well that sucks. But anyways, the payoff to this scene was that they took out Arn Anderson because Arn Anderson helped Wardlow win in that ladder match. So they're like, without him, you're gonna be fucked. And they beat it. I don't know if he got color for that, like he bladed his head or something. But
Who
and
knows at that point? Because
he was just out there shooting 2.0 with his fake gun. What happened? That took like 1 minute.
yeah,
All right.
they took the fake gun from him and they beat him to death with it.
They pistol whipped him
They
with his own.
pistol with his own gun, with his own handgun. Okay, anyways.
All right,
just some silly humor. No, there's not much to say about this. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think, right, Robert? I don't think there's nothing really that positive about this.
Especially if it's going to be Luchasaurus now fighting him. Well, forget it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to something Robert's going to like. Hiroshi Tanahashi, baby.
Tanahashi.
Cuts a promo on MJF saying that belt will never have honor as long as it's in MJF's hands. So that's been booked for Forbidden Door by the bookers. And here's MJF being told that he's been booked.
This was phenomenal. This was so good. God, this was so good.
He was basically Vlad here, saying that he doesn't give a crap about New Japan and that he's not gonna do it. He said he's not gonna.
Yeah, basically that's what he said. I just wanted to say I don't know this guy. I mean, Robert, you probably is this Tanahashi like considered one of the better
He
wrestlers in New Japan?
He dominated New Japan for several years before Okada became like the new like top guy. But yeah, Tanahashi was the top guy for a very long time.
Tanahashi was the guy that Okada beat to become champion, and then he went on a long run to.
I mean, I don't know what to expect. So can MJF have like a good? Not that I mean, I think MJF could have a good match with just about anybody. But
I think this could be a great match.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. And
okay,
if he wins,
then I'll watch it.
If Tanahashi wins, he's gonna play air guitar. It's like his signature thing.
Oh God.
All right.
Well, I don't know about that.
Air guitar.
You trying to get me to watch this, Robert, or are you trying to get me to know?
No, it's funny when he does it. I think at least I think it's entertaining.
Okay. All right, I'll have to see it to believe it.
Moving along. I was supposed to have a bookmark here, but there isn't one for this Orange Cassidy segment, so I'm just gonna forward. But he's challenged by Zack Sabre Jr. comes in, who is the New Japan Television Champion. I was like, who the hell is that? But okay.
Yeah,
and then Daniel Garcia comes in, also my guy, good dancer, and he comes in and he wants a shot at the.
What do you say?
Good dancer.
Okay.
Good you don't know the Daniel Garcia dance?
Dude, I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God. I gotta get a video of Daniel Garcia dancing so I can have it here ready to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, he wants to fight Shibata. You know Shibata, Robert, our resident New Japan expert. He's the ROH pure champion right now.
He's kind of new for me, but you guys never heard of Zack Sabre Jr. before?
I mean, I've only heard of him here in AEW.
Okay.
I don't really watch New Japan. I'm just getting into it. So he's probably good though. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
All right, moving along. I'm not gonna spend too much time on Orange Cassidy. I know Vlad's not too excited for this tag match next week where he's teaming with Shibata against Daniel Garcia.
And what they said, I didn't really care what was going on here, so I zoned out during this whole thing.
All right, next we got the Battle of the Butts, Sky Blue versus Tony Storm. With Ruby Soho.
He's not completely lying.
I don't really have many notes on this match, but there's one spot where they have a hip attack battle right here. So she tries to hit her with her butt first, right? And then Sky Blue goes for the same move, with her butt.
The Battle of the Butts.
Well, this had some stuff in this match because what's it called? Sky Blue's mom, I guess, is in the crowd, and they spray paint her face, which is pretty harsh. They even end up winning the match, and they spray painted her mom's face, so that was kind of screwed up. But let's go to the interference spot. Ruby's distracting so that.
Well,
But
I'll just say it real quick while there's
yeah,
some time while you're talking. The Sky Blue actually looked pretty good here. I kind of liked her here. There was like the crowd actually got into this match, I felt, and she did some things that I thought were, like maybe there's something here. There's some potential. Before I was like always thinking like, oh, Sky Blue, boy, she looks good, but boy, she really can't do much, and there's really no reaction for her. But I don't know. This last week in this match, kind of saw something there.
I
So
like her. I mean,
I kind of like her. Yeah, there's something.
She's had a lot of matches on Dark, so hopefully she got
There's
some
something.
experience
Hopefully
from there.
hopefully that does something for her. But
But
the other thing I'll say, well, okay, you're going to, maybe I'm rushing to it, but because you're going to how this match closes
to
and
the
what happens
finish,
post
yeah.
match.
So
Okay,
there was
I'll let you get
interference,
to that. Yeah.
and Sky Blue, I guess, had her own bottle, like she got from under the ring, and she ended up
Yeah.
spraying her face.
Yeah,
And
this is when the crowd was going really ape shit. They actually were enjoying this. This was good.
Well, to see Sky Blue win the World Women's title would pop really hard. It looked like she was gonna win it right there, but
Right.
again, interference from Ruby, and what happened here? Where am I? Looks like she's done enough to win, and I don't know what that move was right there. Did you guys see that?
Oh, the one on the rope.
Yeah, this one. This was supposed to be like the turning point. So I guess she throws her into the rope. I don't know. That was a little weak.
Maybe it was supposed to be like her. Like sometimes they did that move in the past. Like it's supposed to like hit their neck or something. Like kind of like a choking them with the rope.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of a weird weak ending to the match. Like she just kind of gets flung into the ropes right here, and that's the wrong spot. It's this one. We'll watch it one more time just to overanalyze. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Tony Storm keeps the title. Post-match beatdown. Oh, did you have anything to say, Vlad? You said you had something to say about this, possibly.
I mean, the only thing I'm just kind of sick of after every women's match, somebody is beating somebody up and then somebody comes in. It happens every week. Can either somebody get some heat or can there just not be this post-match nonsense? Either one without somebody running in to save the day every week, and here she comes. There's either let something breathe or don't do it because it's starting to annoy me. Just every week in the women's division, somebody is attacking somebody and then somebody comes out. They run in real fast and they're running and they save the day and they clear house and whatever. It's annoying. It's like it loses all meaning when you do it every single week. Just stop. Either let the heels get their heat or don't have a post-match beatdown. Just let them leave as the victor. I don't know.
What is Willow supposed to do? Just stay in the back and not do anything?
Let her get beat down? What does she have to do with this? What does she have to do with this?
She's been in this feud with the Outcasts the whole time. She's all like her Sheeta and Britt Baker and everybody, But you're right. If she was gonna help her this much, she should have just stayed with her at ringside so that she could have.
Yeah. Well, what good is she after the match at this point?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, Robert, if you don't have any comments on this women's match or Sky Blue, it's your turn.
I'll just say I enjoyed it more than I expected to, but then my expectations for this match were low. So
yeah, for sure.
There, that's pretty much all I have to say about it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. I'm gonna move on. Let me move on to the next bookmark. Oh, what the hell? There's supposed to be a bookmark. Let's move along. I'll forward it manually. Jungle Hook. So, Jungle Boy is the guy who accepts the open challenge for the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship match. And he also tells Hook, like, oh yeah, I know we were supposed to be a tag team this summer, but, I gotta do this. And, I don't know, I guess they're planting seeds there of maybe them breaking up already, even though they haven't even been a tag team yet or something, because he's jonesing for singles gold. So how focused can he be on the tag team division, right? So that was that. I don't know if you guys have any comments. I'm not really a big fan of Jungle Hook. I'm not a big fan of Jungle Hook.
No, nothing positive to say about it. I think there's something. Hook is something you could do something with, but what are they? Well, what are they doing with him is the question, and not much is the answer.
All right, let's try to wrap up this show. Let's see, there was one more package for this trios match they're having with CM Punk and everybody. So they had that, and then the main event is Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite with Hangman Adam Page. And unless you guys have thoughts about the actual match, I'm gonna skip to the ending
No.
because there was a big
This
lot,
was
lots of
this was another garbage match.
this was a lot. There was a lot of action at the end though, so I'm gonna skip 13 minutes
Yeah,
and
a lot of action. I agree.
there's a super kick party, and this is how they ended up winning the match. Just a relentless series of moves on Wheeler Yuta, super kick, power bomb, V-trigger sandwich, followed by the buckshot lariat. So the Blackpool Combat Club, they really did a job putting these guys over. I mean, I skipped the parts where Claudio and Moxley were taking super kicks too and falling out of the ring. But the Elite win, so they get something back, I guess. But of course, there's going to be an afterbirth, which I thought was kind of fun here, to be honest. But
No,
what's
no,
going
I'm
on?
not. No, I'm actually. I agree. I agree with you. Is what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
so here
There was some. I don't
let's
disagree.
let's start. Let's walk through it here before we comment on it. So the afterbirth, the Blackpool Combat Club, obviously pissed off that they lost. They're gonna try to beat them up, and then they're saved by, of all people, Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's music hits, and so he clears the ring, saves the day in a way, but there's a little it gets confusing here because he saves the Elite for some reason from the Blackpool Combat Club, but Moxley used to be his friend, right? They were best friends. So and then so they're gonna so he's trying to tell Matt Jackson here, don't hit him. He was my friend. So what the hell's going on here? So then while all that's going on, they're trying to clear that up, and then Takeshita comes out, and he's gonna turn the tide in favor of the Blackpool Combat Club. So they kind of go over for a minute until who comes in? Kenny Omega,
Omega.
obviously. So Takeshita's kind of basking in the glory of being the man for a second, and then here's Kenny Omega, and they have a little brawl, which was pretty nice, not bad. I thought this was a good moment. And then there's one more surprise at the very end, which was gonna be when Kenny Omega was gonna hit the V trigger on Takeshita on the ropes, and that's right here. So he's gonna hit the V trigger, and he's gonna get. Well, he's kind of looking for Osprey there. I don't know. He didn't. He kind of gave that away that he was looking for him. But there you go. So he's gonna get hit by Osprey. So all kinds of run-ins, all kinds of excitement, all kinds of surprises. Overall, the match I didn't really care for, but it was a pretty nice ending to the show, I thought. Robert, did you have fun with all this? Were you giddy about this? Was it nice? Was
Yes,
it whatever?
well, I like Will Ospreay a lot. I've seen Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay fight before. I think several years ago. This was before, I think even before AEW. I know they fought earlier this year. I think in a New Japan event, and
Yeah,
I
they've
didn't
had their
watch.
first match already.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but I've seen a match between these two before years ago, and it was amazing. So I can't wait to see it again. So
Yeah, I
I'm
think they're gonna have a
stoked.
good match this time too.
Yeah.
But what about the whole thing with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite still going at it? You still into that or what?
I don't mind it as long as it leads to a rematch between Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. I'm hoping that's what ultimately it builds up to. So I'll
Okay.
wait for it.
All right, damn. No Don Callis on this show today. Came in at the very end to clap, but I missed Don Callis this week. I'm a big fan. But Vlad, what about this crazy ending? You have fun with this, or are you whatever about it?
Well, I was trying to make sense of it. I mean, I did have some fun with it. I will say that it was exciting, and at least they tried to make it exciting. I have some slight criticisms. Okay, well, first the slight criticism at the very end, like they let the show, like they didn't like. Let me try to explain how to. I'm trying to find the words. Like the show kept going, even though when it looked like they should have closed, like the camera kept running. I didn't understand. Like there was a time like okay, he attacked him, and then like. That should have been like when he put Kenny Omega down. That should have been like the end of the show. But like they kept the camera rolling for him to like
Yeah,
talk.
like right
And then, like
here.
he
Yeah.
left. Yeah, like what was that about? Like, dude, cut the camera. What the fuck? Anyways, like that didn't make sense. Like they didn't end the show properly. But okay, so Eddie Kingston comes running out. He wobbles his way out. But why is he? Why is he attacking? Why is he attacking the guys that he was aligned with prior to when he was on when he was on TV? I didn't understand that. Like, it didn't make sense because obviously he's closer with Moxley than any of these guys. So why is he attacking
Well, I forgot which promotion it was. There was another, I think, an indie promotion where both Eddie Kingston and Claudio, can't remember the last name. I can't even pronounce it. Anyways, they had a rivalry in that indie promotion. I just can't remember what the name of that was, and so I guess it just carried over onto this episode.
Yes, this is
I,
true.
so that's when I saw him attack Claudio, that's what I was thinking. It was just like they have a history against each other.
Yeah,
And
I guess they mentioned that on the show before too, but yeah, still, I guess it was still
Okay,
fucking
but
over.
I mean, I couldn't make sense of it. I'm glad somebody could. The other thing, I really, the fact that I hate John Moxley is starting to really, okay, first, he's so unprofessional, it's unbelievable, this guy. He, not only does he usually gig himself right in front of the camera, but this time he didn't gig himself, but as Kingston is running in, right in front of the camera, he goes over to the Young Bucks and gives them some sort of direction. I was just floored by this guy's stupidity at times. I mean, this is the wrestler of the year, the last 2 years, according to some people. The guy is an unprofessional hack of the likes I've never seen before. I mean, no wonder
Jesus.
WWE didn't want this guy. It was unbelievable the stuff he was doing. Otherwise, I did have fun with it, though. That was my criticism. Moxley, I do not like, because to do that right on camera, right? I mean, I think you're having it right there where he's doing it. It's going too fast, so you can't really see it. But
Yeah,
it doesn't even
it.
matter. What is that about, dude? Why do you do that right in front of the camera? Like, it's unbelievable, the stuff that this guy does every week.
This scene is
on
very
camera.
complicated. This is a very complicated scene. People probably didn't remember their position.
It's very complicated. It's very complicated. Well, maybe you should have producers and actually do it. Or maybe you don't do it if you don't know what the hell you're doing, then maybe. Well, it's complicated because you have like 100 run-ins.
Yeah.
How come everybody back in the day, they used to do this all the time, and they didn't have this bozo going on camera talking to the opposition, giving them direction right on camera. Ridiculous and totally unprofessional. And when if Cornette sees this, he's gonna completely demolish this. But I mean, I know that already. But if I saw it, he's definitely saw it. So it's not even a question. Usually, I don't even pick up things because I forward right through it. But anyways, I don't want to spend too much more time on it because I know you guys have the dog. I think I have picked up the dog. No, so I don't have a nervous breakdown.
I'm just gonna put an end to the show. That's an end to today's show. Thank you guys.
What?
Thank you for coming on the air.
Wait, you're ending it? We're not even, we don't even give grades?
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. Okay. Because we're an hour and 10 minutes in. This is already one of our longer episodes. Okay, fine.
Let's just give
You're
grades.
Right. You're right. Vlad, thank you for reminding me. You're a good co-host. All right.
Well, I try.
Vlad, okay. Well, actually, Robert, you go first. Give us a grade.
I'll give it a B. B. I'll give it a B. I enjoyed it. I thought it started off really hot. It wasn't as great, towards the end, but it was a really, really good start. And for the most part, I enjoyed it. There weren't that many segments that I didn't like. So
Okay. For me, solid grade. How about you, Vlad?
You know what? Based on the fact of the top niche, just the greatness of the opening match. I'm sorry, I can't even find the words. I'll give it a B minus. Which is the highest grade I've probably given it AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, somewhere in the B.
Started reviewing I don't think I've given it a B at all in any of the reviews that we've done.
Well, I'm gonna go with Robert, and I'm gonna give it a B. But I was gonna give it a better grade. I was gonna give it a B plus.
I was considering B plus too, but
I was considering B plus. I was even considering B minus.
No, there's just too.
Or
A
minus. Yeah, I know, but
minus. No.
I was gonna.
These days it's hard to get an A, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, the reason. Okay, B plus. I was flirting with the B plus for sure.
I'll live with that.
The reason I didn't give it a B plus is because I mentioned it at the beginning of our show today. Was that I don't think they should start with that great a match. That should be the main event. What if at Star Wars Episode 3 they started at the beginning with Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting because they thought, oh, you know what? We've noticed that in Episode 1 and 2 everyone's leaving the theater early. So let's put the good stuff right at the beginning so that they see the fight before everyone leaves. You gotta plan it so that the good stuff is at the end, because honestly, I was watching this last night, and after that Adam Cole MJF match ended and the Sting Darby segment and everything, I kind of fell asleep, bro. I fell asleep in somewhere around the Jake Hager Wardlow match, and I couldn't stay with it. But if they were teasing Adam Cole and MJF the whole time, then I would have probably thought a lot more of it. But
But you probably wouldn't have paid attention to the first hour or first hour and a half then,
I don't know.
you
I'm
know?
just saying I would have given it a slightly better grade. I think it's the proper way to format a show and a movie, man. You got to put the better stuff at the end.
Traditionally, I agree with you, but the way this company does it, I'm kind of happy that they put this out first, so I don't have to really think that much later on down the line, because I know I wasn't going to be interested in a lot of the stuff after that. So, I kind
Yeah,
of
and
thank them.
although there were a lot
I,
of although there were a lot of botches, I felt like since the excitement of the show, the excitement of the first match, especially the quality of
yeah.
it, that's why I was gonna give the whole show a good grade. But I think a B is a pretty good grade considering the botches and everything. So, hey, one last thing I forgot, yeah, because I mentioned to you earlier. Me and Vlad watched that Dark Side of the Ring episode with Chris Candido and Sunny.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't think Robert saw it at all, but it was a good documentary. It was interesting. I mean, we all know Sunny. I think Sunny was a big part of people's lives early on when we were young.
Oh, mm,
Candido, not as much. He was a good worker, a good wrestler, but it was an
yeah.
interesting story. Hey Vlad, quick question. Do you
Mhm.
think eventually Chris Candido would have come to his senses and like left her because she was such a train wreck, or do you think he would have just
Yeah,
stuck with her
probably
like it was?
eventually.
You think so? Like I'd like to think he would have come to his senses, but
Eventually, yeah, yeah,
they do mention that there was like true love, and he knew that she was cheating on him, and he was like so in love with her that he would just ignore it,
yeah.
and
I don't
that's
know.
kind of sad,
I I think as he would have gotten older, it would have been enough for him. Like she became like a total train wreck at that
Well,
point.
maybe
So
he
I
would have
think
been like, "Oh, I gotta be the one to hold her together," and
maybe,
stick with
maybe,
her.
maybe.
I don't know. Robert, you were a big Sunny fan, or no? You didn't. You didn't care as much.
Way back in the day, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. I
I don't
was.
know. I thought she was cute. I don't know. I wasn't as big a Trish fan as Vlad was. Vlad was like a
I
huge.
like Trish more.
Trish was your number one. You guys, Trish was
Ooh.
your favorites.
I have to think
Trish,
about it.
Your favorite
Lita
diva,
looked good.
Lita.
Lita. I mean, I think with Sunny, she was just like the first one that they actually started to kind of like sexualize. They weren't really doing that before. So she was like, I guess you could say the original diva in the sense because they were the
God, I
ones
definitely
who,
liked her better than Sable. I was not a Sable fan at all. I don't know. I
yeah.
didn't understand
I
that
mean,
one.
I thought Sable looked good, but I wasn't a fan of her either.
Yeah, not my
Yeah.
type. I mean, I guess. But all right, yeah, good documentary though, Robert. If
Okay.
you got nothing to do, Dark Side of
Yeah,
the
I
Ring.
would say most of these things are because they're dark side of the ring. There are like fairly tragic stories. So this was another kind of sad tale, given what happens to Candido at the end.
All right, all right. Let's wrap up the show, man. We're an hour and
Yes.
15 in. It was a
All right.
jam-packed show. A lot of stuff happened on Dynamite, so we kind of went more in depth than we usually do. But it was an important episode. I thought, hey, does Adam Cole deserve a title shot now since he drew or what? How's that
I
gonna
say
happen?
yes.
Well,
I'll go with yes.
Still deserves
I
a
don't know
title
about
shot.
Drew. Like Drew as in a tie. He drew. Okay,
Yeah,
got
he
it, got it.
tied.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a draw.
Oh, I
So
thought you meant like he drew like some like a crowd. Like he drew
no,
some.
no,
Okay, I
they
thought you were
drew.
talking about Drew.
Are they
He
still
drew.
gonna give him a title
Uh,
shot even though it was a draw?
I think there will be a title shot. Yes, I
You know
think
what
there
he
will
should
be
get? He should
down the
get
line.
another. He could get another non-title match. How about that? That's what I say.
Well, maybe that first, but I don't think they wanted to have that many matches. I think they'll set up like where he'll. Yes, answer. Short answer. Yes.
All right, guys. Have a good night. I'm gonna talk to you later. I'll put
Okay.
the show out tomorrow. You can go watch it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, guys. Good night.
Take care,
Good night,
guys.
Robert.
Have a good night. Good night.